Unable to pay its bills and needing to recapitalise its banks, Cyprus will ask international lenders for an €11 billion bailout. Cyprus is on the edge of insolvency and needs cash fast. Joining me to discuss this further is Mike Andrews, account and IB manager, plus technical analyst at JFX.com. Hello, Mike. Cyprus are reportedly due to seek €11 billion in a fifth euro bailout. Do you think more aid is really the answer?
Well, you see, there is a big debate about the reasons why. The government says if it was not for the banks and their exposure to the Greek market and Greek government bonds, we would not have needed a bailout. Another view is, yes, the banks made the situations worse, but with a constant budget deficit, we would have ended up in this situation anyway. In my view, the bailout would not have been avoided. As we come to realise the true size of the exposure of Cyprus banks in Greece, most likely we would have requested support eventually, albeit to a lesser extent.
And what big issues does Cyprus' economy face now?
Well, if the banks are recapitalised quickly over the next few months and to an extent that is adequate to overcome market liquidity problems, things will start improving after about 6 months. Although technically I see the bottoming of this recession taking place in 2013, thereafter we should start to see, although a slow-paced recovery, but definitely a step in the right direction. However, it is crucial we simultaneously take drastic measures to correct the balance of public finances. I can tell you that the Cypriot problems are very much in line with the Greek ones, such as gluttony, corruption, and lack of competitiveness. As such, the only viable solution for long-term prosperity is a change in political and commercial culture, coupled with a clear decisive move on the part of all EU nations to join forces in a full fiscal union with shared debt.
Cyprus has been unable to borrow from international markets for over a year due to high borrowing costs implied by yields. How do you think this has affected their economy?
Well, as you know, high borrowing costs for the country results in more government expenses. That means they will either have larger deficits and go into more debt, which will take even more time to pay back, or they have to implement austerity measures and or raise income taxes. Cutting government expenses and increasing income taxes is very negative for the economy, mainly because it lowers business and consumer confidence and profitability, spending power, which results in less trade, resulting in even less business profits, resulting in less jobs, which means higher unemployment. So all of this results in even less consumer confidence and spending power. As you can see, it's a downward spiral. This is exactly what is happening in Greece and Spain as well. Until the populations of these countries gain some confidence in their government's capability to stimulate growth in their economy, things will get worse before they can get better.
Mike, what strategies could be brought in to boost the Cypriot economy?
Well, the moment we start having positive growth and showing corrective action in facing the budget deficits, we will be upgraded by agencies and become credible borrowers in the money markets. It will not happen overnight, but eventually this will revitalise business, increase investor confidence and attract more investment. Cyprus now also has natural gas reserves, which will further strengthen our situation. In the long term, we will have significant revenues from gas and even perhaps oil, if it is handled properly. Cyprus should invest in such revenues to build a renewable energy infrastructure and explore alternative sources of energy. Cyprus has a lot of sun and wind, and so there are many opportunities to develop in this sector. To its credit, Cyprus is already the world leader of solar water heater users per capita. We also need to upgrade and diversify our tourism product. There are plans for new marinas, golf courses and other developments, casinos perhaps, but all of these projects need to be speeded up. Cyprus has great ideas, but it needs to work fast on its implementation. There is much more to Cyprus than just sun and sea. Cyprus needs to establish itself as an all-year-round destination. Currently, a lot of investment funds are relocating to Europe from offshore centres such as the Cayman Islands, which will benefit fund domiciles like Cyprus, Malta and Luxembourg. This framework of new legislation for operational tax for funds in Cyprus should also attract more investment. Also, thanks to our many double tax treaties, Cyprus should be a high priority on fund investor agendas. Due to this, we have seen a surge in our financial industry already. And last but not least, the Cyprus tax system. Cyprus has the lowest corporate tax rate within the EU and one of the lowest in the world at 10%. This alone, along with a strong financial backing and legal system, its infrastructure and geographical location, thus makes Cyprus a great place for business and investment.
Thanks for joining me, Mike. Well, that's all we've got time for right now, but stay tuned to Dukascopy TV for more updates and interviews. For now, though, goodbye.